So the question is, does philosophy have an object? I wonder whether philosophy has an object, and if so, what it is. Some philosophers may still say today that the object of philosophy is the whole. But what does that mean? Is then everything and anything the subject or object of philosophy? So also my pants and horses? No, this cannot be. Is the whole as such perhaps something like a space and a framework, or what people consider to be important? But which person decides what should be important for people? For example, is this fleeting thought of mine important? If not, it would not be philosophical, because we said that only something that people consider important could be philosophy. By the way, it can't be that my question about what philosophy is about doesn't belong to philosophy. I could get witnesses to show that the question of what philosophy should be about is an immensely philosophical one. The answer that the whole is the subject or object of philosophy comes from a great era of philosophy that is long past. Today, this answer no longer makes sense to us, whereas it was still able to make sense in the 19th century. So, if the whole is not the object of philosophy, then what is it? I'll spare myself and us other possible answers, because I can see that there will be an objection to each of them. This objection makes any answer questionable. Perhaps philosophy then has no object at all? I'm afraid that's probably the case. Philosophy has no specific subject. However, I have now smuggled a word into the sentence that I have to explain. Philosophy does not mean a specific object. There is no object that is always already philosophical and that in itself belongs to philosophy. Sociology is about society, theology is about God, history is about history, and philosophy is about. One could perhaps say that philosophers can talk about anything and everything because they do not know any specific subject. But even if that sounds plausible, it would still be just sophistry, because it does not follow from the knowledge that philosophy obviously has no specific object that it can make everything its object. No, it would be possible, first of all, to allow the idea that philosophy has no object at all. And then perhaps you could emphasize the idea a little differently and it starts to shimmer. It can be said that philosophy has no object. But you can also say it has no object. No, it is possible to think about what philosophy is if it is not about objects. Is it even possible that philosophy is not about objects? Isn't everything that exists an object in a narrower and broader sense? Even a non-object would be an object when I talk about it, even if only an object of this reflection here. But that cannot be what I mean when I say that philosophy is not concerned with objects. What I mean by this is that philosophy is moved and driven by something that withdraws from objectification. Philosophical thought is affected by a movement that can never be an object. A philosophy that had found its object would be as dead as a life that had become entirely itself. Just as life is always on the trail or trace of life, philosophy is always on the trail or trace of itself. Because it will not reach itself, philosophy will remain possible. Or to put it another way, in that philosophy always falls into its own abyss when it seeks itself, its life reveals itself.